Alright, right here I have the Sony RX100 Mark IV, and in today's video I quickly want to show you how to record true 1000 frame per second high-speed video with this camera. So there is actually a little bit of a trick to get true 1000 frame per second video, so let's jump right into it. First of all, let's go right into the menu, and then we're going to go over to the shooting menu, page 2. And so right here you see all the different video options. We're going to go down to HFR, or high frame rate settings. Go ahead and select that, and you can see right here the frame rate you can choose from 240, 480 and 960 frames per second, which it's pretty close to 1000 frames per second, but you can actually get all the way up to true 1000 frames per second versus 960. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick and then just show you what I would set for these other settings as well. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the regular menu here, and we're actually going to go all the way up to this page right over here, and then down over to page number 3. And you can see there's an NTSC/PAL selector. So basically we're going to want to select that, and it says change to PAL, reboots after the media's changed, all that stuff. If you're already in PAL mode, then you already see the 1000 frames per second, so you don't need to worry about it. However, if this pops up to change to PAL, we're going to go ahead and select that, and it's just going to reboot the camera real quick. There you go, now you can see it says running on PAL. And essentially this is just going to switch some of the frame rate options you have, because NTSC and PAL are essentially video modes that are meant for different countries and different areas that have different standards essentially. So I wouldn't recommend using this all the time. You're not going to get your normal 24, 30 and 60 frames per second with PAL. You're actually going to get 25, 50 and 100 frames per second, as well as of course 1000 frames per second for slow motion. So go ahead and hit OK on that. And then go back into the menu, back up all the way over to those HFR settings. And now you can see, you can select from now 250, 500, or 1000 frames per second. So there you go, that is how to get true 1000 frames per second, which is the slowest motion you can possibly get out of this camera. And to make sure it's as slow as possible, I also go ahead and select 25p, which means it's gonna record this into a 25 frame per second timeline, which will actually be half the speed as if you were to select this 50p. So go ahead and select 25p right there, 1000 frames per second. I go ahead and select quality priority, so it won't record as long of a slow motion clip. However, it's going to be the highest quality you can get with 1000 frames per second. For end trigger or start trigger, I select end trigger. So essentially, as soon as you hit record, it's going to record the previous, it's like about a second, I believe, footage before you hit record, versus if you hit start trigger, it'll record about a second after you hit record. So I usually like to do end trigger so that I can essentially just wait for whatever I'm waiting to happen, and then I hit record as soon as it happens, so I know 100% that I'll capture it, rather than hoping it'll happen within the next second that I hit record. And that is pretty much it. You have all those things dialed in. Just make sure you're in the HFR mode on this top dial right here, and then you're going to be all set to go to record 1000 frame per second high-speed video with your RX100 Mark IV. And so I hope this video helped you out. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.